Yo, what's going on, everybody? I'm your boy Numbskull, and this marks the start of yet another new series. This is another one I've been wanting to get started for quite a while, and today I remembered something that would be the perfect thing to do just that. Sorry if you can hear my dog barking in the background, by the way. He won't be quiet. Now, this is going to be a super interesting video for many of you out there, and is on something that definitely needs more studying and deserves to be looked into. You've heard of psilocybin mushrooms, and you've heard of amanita and other muscimol, musarine, and ibotenic acid containing species of mushrooms, but have you ever heard of Lanmaoa Asiatica? This is a super niche and unique substance that we don't even really know a whole lot about. So, I present to you Obscure Substances, Episode 1. Today we're talking about one of the strangest fungi discovered in modern mycology. A mushroom that looks ordinary at first glance, yet keeps puzzling scientists because of the unusual hallucinations linked to it. This is Lanmaoa Asiatica, sometimes nicknamed the Lilliputian Mushroom, a bolete species that has drawn attention not for bright colors or obvious psychedelic history, but for the strange neurological experiences reported after it is eaten, quote-unquote, improperly prepared. Lanmaoa Asiatica belongs to a group of mushrooms related to porcini and was formally described by scientists in the last decade. It grows mainly in the pine forests of southwestern China, especially in the Yunnan province, where humid monsoon weather and diverse elevations create one of the richest mushroom ecosystems on Earth. Instead of feeding on dead material, it forms a mycorrhizal partnership with local pine trees, connecting to their roots underground and exchanging nutrients in a quiet biological alliance that helps both organisms survive. During the rainy season between June and August, these mushrooms appear in large numbers and are gathered for food, sold in local markets, and cooked into traditional dishes valued for their strong, savory flavor. For generations, people in Yunnan have treated this mushroom as part of seasonal cuisine, which makes the medical reports surrounding it even more surprising. Hospitals in the region began documenting waves of patients who arrived describing remarkably similar hallucinations after eating it undercooked. Instead of abstract visuals or shifting colors, or anything like that, many people reported seeing tiny humanoid figures moving through their environment. Some described miniature people walking across tables or gathering along walls, while others spoke about small beings interacting with objects as if they were physically present. The consistency of these stories caught the attention of researchers because unrelated individuals, often with no knowledge of each other, describe nearly identical scenes. Another aspect that often gets overlooked is how unusual the delayed onset can feel compared to most psychoactive mushrooms. Many people expect hallucinations, to begin within like an hour or two, yet reports connected to Lanmaoa sometimes describe a long, quiet period before symptoms suddenly appear much later. That delay has led scientists to wonder whether the active compound begins as a relatively inactive precursor that becomes neurologically active only after metabolism in the body. Enzymes in the liver or even microbes in the gut may transform it over time, which could explain why someone might feel completely normal after a meal and then experience intense visual effects an hour later. Or hours later, my bad. The effects described in medical literature tend to involve more than just visual phenomena. People frequently report dizziness, weakness, nausea, and a dreamlike slowing of perception. Some individuals appear confused or disoriented, yet remain aware enough to describe what they are seeing in vivid detail. Clinical observations show that hallucinations often occur alongside neuropsychiatric symptoms rather than the emotional introspection associated with classic psychedelic mushrooms. Even so, laboratory tests often reveal surprisingly little damage to major organs, suggesting that the primary target may be specific brain processes rather than widespread toxicity. Researchers have been especially interested in the chemistry behind these experiences. So far, analyses have not revealed familiar compounds like psilocybin or muscimol, even though it stains blue, which has pushed scientists to look at a broader metabolic effect within the brain. Early studies suggest that certain organic acids and amino acid pathways might be disrupted, potentially altering how neurons handle energy or communication. If a new mechanism is eventually confirmed, it could expand the scientific understanding of how natural substances influence perception, opening the door to an entirely different category of neuroactive fungi. The so-called little people hallucinations have sparked intense discussion among neuroscientists. Humans are wired to recognize faces and body shapes extremely quickly, and when visual processing becomes sort of unstable, the brain often fills in missing details with familiar patterns. With some like delirium substances, for example, that pattern takes the form of spiders or shadow figures. In this case, the brain appears to generate miniature human forms, perhaps because scaling perception becomes distorted and small details are interpreted as complete characters. Rather than random shapes, the mind constructs scenes populated by figures that feel strangely alive within the environment. Field mycologists are also interested in the mushroom's physical appearance because it resembles many edible bolete species. Its thick stem and brown cap allow it to blend easily into the forest floor, which may explain how accidental exposures happened long before scientists paid attention. Environmental factors such as soil composition, rainfall, and tree species could influence the concentration of whatever compound causes the neurological effects, meaning that mushrooms from different regions or seasons might vary significantly in potency. There is also a cultural layer to the story. In Yunnan, the mushroom foraging is a long-standing tradition, and local cooks emphasize thorough preparation methods. Some restaurants are known to use strict cooking times before serving dishes that include this species, reflecting a shared understanding that improper preparation can lead to strange experiences. What appears mysterious to the outside world is often treated as practical culinary knowledge within the region, showing how cultural familiarity with fungi can develop alongside scientific discovery. The recurring imagery of miniature figures has led some researchers to explore connections with folklore. Studies or stories of these tiny beings appear in many cultures across history, and some scientists believe that these archetypical forms may emerge naturally when perception is altered in specific ways. Instead of inventing entirely new creatures, the brain sort of reshapes familiar human outlines into smaller versions, creating a consistent narrative framework that different individuals can recognize even without prior suggestion. As research continues, Lanmaoa Asiatica sits at an unusual crossroads between traditional food culture, toxicology, and emerging neuroscience. Its quiet appearance hides a complex chemical mystery that challenges the way people categorize hallucinogenic fungi. Each new study raises more questions about how perception can be altered by compounds that do not fit neatly into existing drug families. For mycologists, it serves as a reminder that the fungal kingdom remains largely unexplored, filled with species that may hold entirely new biochemical pathways waiting to be understood. Whether viewed as a scientific puzzle or a cultural curiosity, this mushroom highlights how much remains unknown about the relationship between fungi and the human brain. Like a simple bolete growing beneath pine trees has become a symbol of how nature can still surprise researchers. This reveals that even familiar landscapes may hide substances capable of reshaping perception in ways that science is only beginning to grasp. And that is going to be it. Now, I do apologize if I butchered any pronunciation, because during my deeper research into this mushroom, I found a word or two I wasn't sure how to pronounce properly, but I put them into the script anyway. If you enjoyed this video anyways, or found it to be interesting, do consider leaving a like and a subscribe for me so I know my content's worth watching. Drop a comment letting me know if there's something specific you'd like cover next in any particular series, and if you have a story you want to share with us and have me read on the channel, do send it in via my Instagram or Facebook. Of course, TikTok would also be acceptable if you lack both of those. And if you are on TikTok, do go check out my YouTube. Some of you have yet to make the transition, and I have exclusive and unique content over there I think you'd enjoy quite a lot. My name and profile pic is the same across all platforms, so it shouldn't be too hard to find me. Stay frosty, stay curious, And most importantly, as always, stay safe out there. And with that, I will, of course, see all of you in the next one. Peace.